well, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Jared Ewing, and this is our agent spotlight for February week 3. So we are already cruising through the year, and this week's guest is our buddy from Louisville, Kentucky, Christian Pander. Christian, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Hey man, I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited about the finishing off the month strong.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, this year's cruising already. I mean, we're 3 weeks into February already, and a lot of good stuff happening, and it's getting busier and busier by the week. And we appreciate it. We know you're getting busy too, and so good stuff happening. Just kind of set it up as always. No script here. We're just going to kind of shoot back and forth, get you some information, let you know a little bit about Christian. He's got a great story. Some highlights about Christian is in 2020. Christian was one of our multi-six-figure income earners, broke the $300,000 income mark, just hit 30 years old. 30, right, Christian? Is that right?
30, yeah. This past August or August 2020, I turned 30. Yeah.
30 years old, 300,000. What a kind of a perfect number setup for that. That kind of worked out perfectly. So congratulations, man. We had Rashad on last week, and he was showing us his income ring. Yours has significantly more diamonds in it than his does. And that's a dig to him to go out there and push for them diamonds.
There you go.
But let's chat, man. I know, I obviously people hear you earning $300,000 at 30 years old, and there's a lot more to the story than meets the eye. And so, you've been with us for a few years now. Kind of set it up for everybody watching right now. How did Christian come on board with us, and how'd you meet us? How'd you come on board with us? Give us a story, because it's a pretty interesting story.
Sure, absolutely. I love man, I'm so proud of my story for sure. But yeah, I'm from Mobile, Alabama. Grew up there, and I grew up my whole life working hard. Working hard on jobs like manual labor jobs. Barely finished high school. I'm pretty sure they gave me a diploma just because they were tired of dealing with me. But yeah, man, right out of high school, I joined the police department. My dad was a police officer, and I was a cadet. I was like 19 years old. And very quickly learned that was not something that I wanted to do. Love the blue, right? It's just, I was like, no, I don't know. I don't think so. And so I went to work in, manual labor jobs, like I said. And then when I was 25, I was working at a nursery in Loxley, Alabama. And a guy named Nate Maddox, who's actually one of our regional managers on in your agency, he met me. It was at my fifth rehab, right? And so I've been down, not the most straight road, but man, proud of it. It's made me who I am. But he met me. He called me like 3 months later, and I was eating my lunch in a dirty parking lot, and he asked me if I wanted to make extra money. I was making $10 an hour, and I was like, absolutely, Nate. I want to make more money. What do I got to do? And he was like, just come over to my apartment, see what we do. And funny thing, it actually ended up, me and my brother had just moved in the same apartment complex that he was already living in. So it kind of worked out really nice. So instead of having to get up at 5 a.m. to go, move plants all day, I was able to just walk across the parking lot and work for Nate for $10 an hour. He hired me on as an admin.
So you started with Nate as an admin, and then that transitioned into selling. So how long from the admin to the selling part did that take for that transition to happen?
So August of 16 is when I started with Nate as an admin, and December of that same year, I started selling.
Gotcha. Okay, so December, so about 6 months. So, and then now here's the fun part though, and let's talk about this, because I love these videos, because I love people to see the different individuals that are coming on board, the different people, because I think insurance has kind of that stereotypical person that people see wearing those bad suits and rocking a briefcase, and and then they hear you at 30 years old and making 300 grand, and if they go, well, he's just got something about him that made him so good at this. But that's not the truth, is it? 2016, you started, how was 2017? Did you shoot out the gate like a lightning bolt, or did it take some beating up to get better?
Well, I'll tell you what, being in the insurance industry, Jared, it wasn't something I dreamed of as a kid. I wanted to play pro baseball, but, obviously I got involved in some other things. and it led me off track. That didn't work out. And so I was just at a point in my life, man, I was just looking for a different result,
Yeah.
right? I didn't necessarily care what it was that I did, as long as it was profitable, legal, ethical, and I helped people. Like, I was cool to do it. And so it just turned out that the insurance industry, from what I've seen, is the fastest vehicle to get me there. And so for me, I was like, okay, this is my shot. I don't have
Yeah.
any college education. I have no training. I really don't know a whole lot, really. I just know how to work hard. And, I have a burning desire inside of me to do something big. And so I combined all those things, and the insurance industry basically was the best way for me to use those traits. But yeah, man, when I got started, I was awful. I know I wanted, like, my desire and ambition was very high, but my skill set was very low. And so I started on the bottom. I started, dialing every single lead I could get my hands on. I would have dialed out of the phone book. I just wanted to win.
Yeah.
I grew up my whole life losing, knowing what that feels like. So I just wanted something different, dude. I wanted freedom in my life. I wanted time and money. Man, I just wanted to be somebody. And so the problem, though, I wasn't good. So my first year, I struggled really hard. I probably quit 100 times a day.
Yeah.
And what kept me going was me thinking about my other options. I didn't have any other options. I could go back to where I was, but I just left there and I didn't want to go back. And so my only option was, listen, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how many obstacles come up. I'm going to get good at this, and I'm going to figure this out.
Well, it's interesting because I'm sitting here while you're talking about stuff, and I'm like, 2017, like Christian, think about it. The new year just kicked off a month and a half, a little over a month and a half ago now. And I mean, it's cruising, right? So you think about 2017, and we just were talking about your 2020 making $300,000. I mean, any idea? I mean, guess. And I know you probably know it if you probably have it down somewhere. But what would you guess 2017 income look like?
It was a little over 50.
So think about that. Like, put that into understanding. So 2017. So 3 years later, you went from 50,000 to 300,000. I mean, you literally took a 600% growth in a 36-month period. And I'm sitting there thinking about what you're talking about, because I was sitting there going, man, it's been like 5-6 years. And I was like, no, you're talking like just a couple of years difference. And it's 300,000. I mean, your life difference. Because I know in 2017, you shared a house with people, like now, you're married to Sarah. You guys own your house. You make a lot of money. You have a beautiful young daughter named Summer that just was born 6 months ago. I mean, life has changed, and you would think it's been a decade, but it's been 36 months. And $250,000 in income difference in 36 months. Isn't that crazy to think about that?
It is crazy, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to, it's not the opportunity, right? Because the opportunity is the same for everybody.
Yeah.
What it comes down to is how bad you want something, and then what you're willing to give up to get it, and then how fast you can accelerate that learning curve by your activity, and how quickly you can, invest in yourself and develop yourself to become that person that is on the same level as the amount of success you're looking to go after.
Yeah, man. Everybody wants to be a Michael Jordan, but no one knows how many jump shots he actually shot before he became a Michael Jordan, right? So it's all about the jump shots behind the scenes that no one sees. It's fun to be recognized in the public eye, but it's the behind the scenes free throws and jump shots that you practice nonstop that are really what paints the big picture. So I agree with you. Man, and obviously we just hit on a lot right there, but kind of some final closing thoughts on this that in question. So the first thing is, obviously, circa back to 2016, you had a 26-year-old Christian Pounder that, was working at a nursery. By the way, I've never worked at a nursery, but I could only imagine the grueling days that provided for you.
But you would love it.
Yeah, I'm grateful that I haven't had to do that, but I would have if I had to.
Sure.
But looking, someone watching this is going to see this, and they're going to be 26 years old, just like you were when you first ran into us, and just want to make some changes in their life, and maybe, and obviously 30 to them, to 26-year-old, 30 looks like it's light years away, but in reality, we're talking, it's gonna just done, and you're gonna be 30. What would you say to them? How would you tell them to start progressing right now? What would you tell them to focus on, to start becoming more of that person that they would love to be by the age of 30, like you are? Because I'm gonna tell you what, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many 30-year-olds would be dying right now to make $300,000 a year. So, talk to that 26-year-old that's looking at the video that goes, hey, I by 30, I would love to be there. What's the starting point for them? Where do they need to start right now?
Well, one of the biggest things that I would say to somebody that's 26 or any age really, 3 years, you're going to arrive somewhere. Like, Lord willing, you're still alive. If you're alive, you're going to be older either way.
Yeah.
So if you're 25, 5 years later, time's going to go by, you're going to be 30, right? So you're going to arrive somewhere. The question that you have to ask yourself is, where? Where are you going to arrive, right? And so if you keep doing the same things you've done up to this point in your life, I can tell you exactly where you're going to be 5 years from now. And it's the exact same place.
Absolutely.
Right? In order to have something you've never had, you have to become somebody you've never been, and you have to do things you've never done. That's the only way, period. And so if you're not willing to do different things, you're not worthy and deserving of the prize you're seeking, right? You have to pay the price. And the price for greatness is high, right? But let me tell you something. You only have to pay that price for 3 to 4 years until you figure this thing out.
Yeah.
The price for mediocrity, you're going to continue to pay the rest of your life by the results that you get. And so for me, it was an easy choice. Listen, I don't want a life of just getting by, right? And if that's you, you're going to have to do certain things, but I would say start reading every day, start developing your mind. You have to be mentally tough. You have to learn how to think creatively. You have to learn how to use, synthetic imagination. You have to learn all these things, right? So start reading, because everybody that's been successful who's written a book is basically laying out the principles they've used in their mindset. And it's, a book is $5, but you could get $100,000 from reading a $5 book. It's crazy, right?
Absolutely.
So start reading, right? Start setting your goals, writing your goals down, start focusing on what you want, right? Keep your mind off of what you don't want, focus on what you want, and just take that first step. See, it's crazy. What's paradoxical is we as a society and people, Jared, we wait on resources before we make a decision and before we take a step out. But in reality, how it works is, right, and how faith works is, you take that step and you start the work, and then the resources come alongside you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. So you have to be willing to just start, right? You have to start, take that first step. You're not going to be good at first, but there's no way to be great unless you get started.
That's right, man. I'm going to tell you what. Well, Christian Pounder, by the way, Christian is the owner of the Freedom Group that's based out of Louisville, Kentucky. We appreciate you getting on the video. If people want to get in touch with Christian and the Freedom Group, what's the best ways for them to do that?
So look me up through Facebook. It's the Freedom Group. Look me up on Facebook, Christian Pounder, and click on my company through my Facebook page. Also, thefreedomgroup.org. You can find me because we're looking to grow. I know you're looking to grow. We are too. We're looking for motivated, ambitious, sharp, people that are looking to change their situation. And we got the system, buddy. We got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just about finding the right people that are willing to go out there and do it.
You guys on Instagram as well?
I'm not on Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. I need to set up an Instagram. You got me there.
So LinkedIn, the Freedom Group, Christian Pounder, and then also Facebook. Check them out, freedomgroup.org. Make sure you hit up Christian and his team there. They're amazing. They'll take care of you. Christian, hey, amazing story. 2017, 50,000, 2020, 300,000, 2021. Going to be even more than that, man. Appreciate you getting on today. and everything you continue to do for the company.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, buddy.